All right, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be breaking down and recapping some plays I took profits on and traded last week and the week prior. Just going to kind of break down what I saw, the reason I answered them, and how I played them. Just going to kind of give you a lowdown. Hopefully, you can get something out of it. Maybe learn to see what I'm looking at and how I actually play them. Of course, this is my strategy. I swing stocks for probably 2, 3, 4 days, hardly even swinging them, right? Just barely getting in and out, looking to make a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 return. Pretty simple stuff, but yeah, let's break it down. So first off, we have BALY. This is a descending channel, as you can see by my two trend lines here. We have this resistance trend line up top, which is basically just hitting all the top points of the wicks and whatnot. And then we have this other descending trend line acting as my support. Now this descending trend line right here, I actually drew the channel because I noticed that it wouldn't always fully come down. Like right here, it fully came down to the bottom. However, right here, it actually came to the top. So I felt it was necessary to make a channel. That way I don't miss any of the move. As you can see, it actually didn't come fully to the bottom. It bounced off the top trend line. So this channel is actually really, really helpful. I did draw support and resistance. I always do, even if there hardly is one, just to kind of help me mentally know where to take profits. The only reason I actually drew the resistance was because of this wick right here that dropped. Otherwise, there was literally no other resistance point. But so yeah, most people wouldn't even call the resistance, but it just kind of helped with my mental stop loss, or not my mental stop loss, but like my mental take profits. And then of course, same goes to my resistance. While you can't actually see any wick here on this 4-hour chart, if we switch to the 1-year, 1-day chart, you can actually see that there was definitely a support right here where it touched twice here. Again, I wouldn't even call this a support, but just for having an idea of where to maybe get stopped out or where it might come down to, it helped a lot. And if we zoom in, it actually played quite nicely off of it. Of course, it didn't come to that trend line. It didn't come near that trend line. I think we're what, maybe 1% away, about 1.5%. But like I said, it's just more for like my mentality, knowing where it might come to. But this play actually bounced off the top trend line. As you can see, I had a loading zone right here. My yellow square is always my yellow square is always my loading zone, and then I have a red square down there, which is my stop loss. So if a play ever gets below that, I get stopped out. So I was entering somewhere between 4%, a little bit steeper than usual. I actually got in like right here, like right when I hit this yellow zone, because it was oversold and already starting to curl up, I saw. So I immediately hopped in. I got really lucky that entry. It was like nearly towards the bottom. So, and I was probably risking 3% on this play, because if it got below this, I was going to sell it. And I actually wrote it up to probably just a little bit above my resistance line. I think I made about 13%. So yeah, I probably got in right here. Of course, I missed a massive move the last 2 days though, I guess. Or yeah, I mean, as you can see, since I sold it, it's already up 12%, which really sucks. And oh, it's the worst. It happens all the time. But I mean, you can see why I sold it. We had this massive drop right here, right? It dropped 4%. So my thought was just like, oh yeah, it's topping out right here. It's obviously going to reverse. Because usually the price action going up is very straightforward. I mean, like it's all green. This one's a little bit more rockier, all green, all green. So usually when I see that fat red candle, especially on this play, it's like, yeah, it's reversing. And what do you know? It actually breaks the channel and keeps going up. Hell, it'll probably keep going up tomorrow. But yeah, took 13% off that. Can't complain. Green is green. Can't always catch, full breakout. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because if I did hold that and it went straight back down, I'd be at nothing. But yeah, that was BALY. So I'll top into the next one. All right, so next we have some. This play was a little bit more, I don't want to say volatile, but there was definitely a lot more funkier price action going on. Definitely a little bit more rockier than most plays. I had 2 support lines actually, just because I wasn't sure what it was going to come down to. Had my original support right here, as we got some consolidation over here, touch over here, some more touching over here, and then definitely some strong reversals right here. So I actually thought it was going to come fully to the support level, but it ended up breaking, as you can see right here. It went through, came down to my next support level, which was due to this wick right here and these 2 wicks right here. I'm actually pretty surprised. I thought it was going to hold very nicely up here, but I'm kind of glad it came down because it yielded me more profit. And then of course I had my resistance line. Again, this resistance line is questionable as it's not perfect, but I like to be conservative with them. Like I probably could have drawn it. Here, I'll take this. Probably could have actually moved it up right here. That would have been a fine resistance level. That would actually make more sense. But I like being conservative, so I drew mine there. And I actually took profits before it even came to my resistance level, just because things started to get rocky. If we zoom in to see what happened, you can see it came down nearly to the bottom support. I mean, it was like a centimeter away. It was not even a 0.5% away from hitting that bottom support. So perfect bounce right there. I got in, I think, right about here, just because I saw it starting to reverse. Of course, it did come down a little bit more. So I was risking 2% on this play, and I wrote it up to right here, actually. So I made 8%. I remember I wrote it up to right to this candle wick because I saw it forming here, and I thought it was going to get tested. So I decided to take profits because I didn't want to get anything rocky. Which was it was good. It worked out well. Obviously, you can't complain. Made 8%. But since I sold, it has gone up. Not much. 3%. I mean, yeah, that wick looks insane. That candle looks insane, but it's up 3% from when I sold it. Obviously, it was smart in my decision, though, because it did end up going down 4%. So, I don't like price action when it's rocky, so I'll definitely take my profits always. And as far as the indicators I was looking at, I mean, pretty straightforward. If we entered right about here and we're going down the line, we are nearly oversold or we were oversold. MACD was being a little funky. It was definitely testing the signal lines. You can see it hit it, come down, hit it, come down, and then finally hit it and broke through. So I actually entered right probably here on this bottom. I think it was like barely curling. So, I mean, I knew. I was like, if it goes down, I have a risk of 2%. Like, it's no big deal. Obviously, I'm risking like 2% to make 12 or 8% in this chance. So it was well worth it. Then, of course, my vortex is looking solid. This bottom indicator, I don't use that. I use that sometimes in my scalping and day trades, but totally irrelevant. I'm actually probably going to get rid of it. But yeah, easy play, some. I love that one. I played it, I think, once before. I think I played it, where was it? Was it right here? Yeah, I think I played it right here, actually, in the past, like, months ago. When was this? Yeah, like 4 months ago. But yeah, it's a great play, very solid. All right, last one, Ryanair, I don't know how you say it, but this is RYN. I actually played this one, like, what, 3 weeks ago, maybe? I'm just including this one because it's just one I wanted to include because I haven't traded this week, so I thought it'd be nice to include at least one more, get 3 in a video. This one was really straightforward as well. This was definitely a trend line play. A little bit of like a breakout I was actually going for here, which it did break out. And of course, being who I am, I didn't capture the full breakout because I don't like rocky price action, but we'll get that in a second. Trend line is pretty straightforward. Basically zeroed off this wick. Of course, it's not perfect. However, I like to draw my trend lines as channels, which I didn't do here. I just decided to cut right through some of the price action. So not the most perfect trend line, but there's no doubt a trend going on. As you can see, we're forming higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. So I saw that, and then I kind of saw the little, get that little triangle going right here. Saw the little descending trend line. So I decided to draw that, and I was like, okay, there's clearly going to be a breakout. It's either going to go one way or the other, right? Drew my support lines, very, very solid. I mean, we have the bouncing over here, get some testing over here, get some more very, very strong testing over here. So I knew the support line was super strong, and I was pretty confident it was going to bounce somewhere in this area. I mean, this is a perfect entry area between the support and the trend line. You got an entry of about 1%. Like, it's a perfect area to enter. And then I wrote it up until the price action started getting rocky, up to this actual green wick or this red wick right here. So it's actually really solid. I made 6% on it. I mean, I held it for, what is that? Actually, it was a little bit longer than I thought. So that actually was a week-long swing. Probably the longest I'll usually ever hold. And usually both my swings are like 2, 3, 4 days. It's a really good one. This one just took some time, but no complaints. I mean, it was almost green the entire way up. Super solid. Broke through just as I wanted. Even if it didn't break through, I was like, okay, I'm making 3-4% for a possible breakout. No complaints. Turns the other way. I get out for less than 1%. Super easy. Pretty much no risk involved whatsoever. Down near the exact bottom. Oversold. MACD was curling up. Vortex indicator looks strong. Super solid entry all the way through. And then since then, looks like it's just honestly looks like it's flagging a little bit. Maybe it'll spike up again soon. I don't know. I definitely have it on my radar though. I do have my watch list just to watch it because it is doing some interesting patterns here. I mean, you can obviously see there's something going on. I wouldn't draw anything yet as it's too close to call. But I mean, you look at that and it's like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Interesting to see what it does. But yeah, so those are the 3 plays I played this week and last week, or I guess last week and the week prior. And yeah, hope you guys learned something.